It is our last day for analogies, and today is the day for a test. So I really hope you paid attention to yesterday's review, and I really hope that if you had a question, you asked me, because that was kind of your last chance to do that. This is why it's important to ask questions, right? I do want to go over this test with you, and because you are taking the time to watch this video, I might even give you an answer or two. Because some of your classmates are choosing not to watch the videos, they just won't get those answers. It's a sad day for them, really. Let's look at this test. As always, you'll type your first and last name here. Capital letters are important, fifth graders. Your directions. All of the following analogies can be labeled as having type-kind relationships, so it's a type of, a characteristic relationships, or function-purpose relationships. So look at these. Feet is to walk. Your feet's purpose is to let you walk. So that's the function-purpose relationship. Horse is to hay. One characteristic of a horse is that it eats hay. That's your characteristic relationship. And skate is to ice. One type or kind of skating is done on ice skating. So that's your type-kind relationship. If you get confused, these are 3 good examples you can come back to during this test. In the next set of questions, you need to choose the correct relationship for each set of analogies. So I have this set up where it's a grid. So if it's a purpose relationship, you'll choose the dot in this column, characteristic in the second column, or if it's a type kind relationship, you'll use the last column. So let's look. Peas are to green. Well, the purpose of peas is to be green. No. A characteristic of peas is that they are green. Yes. Peas are a type of green. Well, I mean, maybe there's a color called pea green, but this says peas, so that's a little different. So I'm going with a characteristic of peas is that they are green, and I will choose characteristic of. Boots are to shoes. So the purpose of boots are to shoes. A characteristic of boots are shoes. Boots are a type or a kind of shoes. So that's going to be the one that makes the most sense. Chair is to sitting. The purpose of a chair is for sitting. Yes. A characteristic of a chair is sitting. A type of chair is sitting. So obviously this one is purpose. So I've done the first 3 for you, and that's one of each kind to help you know what you're doing. This question, or these questions, worth 50 points. So pay attention. Here you're going to complete the analogy with the term that makes the most sense. These words are each only going to be used once. Okay? So here you have actor is to stage as nurse is to blank. Remember, you need to find the relationship first. So an actor does his work on a stage, right? A nurse does his work or her work on a or in a saw, flies. If your nurse is doing the work in your nose, that's weird. In the hospital, in the look, or in the moo. Well, obviously a nurse works in a hospital. Okay, you're going to have 1 in each column, 1 in each row. This is going to be the same kind of thing. Complete the analogy with the term that makes the most sense. You'll notice it might not fit. Now, my screen is smaller. If I make my screen bigger, it still doesn't fit, actually. So you may have to use this bar at the bottom to see that this last word is glasses. Okay, now let me... Okay. This is the same as the one above. I'm not going to go over that again. So all of the following analogies can be labeled as having a characteristic relationship or a function-purpose relationship. Look at these examples. Engineer is to train. An engineer's purpose is to drive the train. That's purpose or function. Bird is to fly. One characteristic of a bird is that it can fly. So for these, you have a 1 in 2 chance here of getting it right. This is 16 points for this question or this set of questions. And I've given you engineer and train. Hello, it was the example. I told you it was a purpose. So I know that the engineer's purpose is to drive the train. Also, bird is to fly was a characteristic. Hello, bird is to fly, characteristic. Sometimes you just have to pay attention because free answers are right there. Okay, so that's how you're going to be answering these questions. And again, you're going to complete the analogy with the term that makes the most sense. Bird is to fly as rabbit is to blank. Well, The way a bird moves is it flies. The way a rabbit moves is it chirps. The way a rabbit moves is it gallops. The way a rabbit moves is it hops. The way a rabbit moves is its airplane. The way a rabbit moves is its lungs. So obviously we're going to choose hop for this one. Just make sure you find the relationship of the first two words so you know how to make the relationship work in the second. Extra credit. This is different. This is not about something I'm going to say here. You're going to have to do something. I will give you 5 extra points if you can create an analogy on your own, not one we have done in class. Your analogy must consist of 2 pairs of words that have the same relationship, and it must be written correctly. If you're trying to make it using the colon key, then to make the colon, hold down the shift key and type the key to the right of the letter L. That gives you the colon. Your extra points won't appear on your grade when you submit. I have to go back and grade this question, so when I return the assignment to you, you can see if you earned the extra 5 points. This question cannot hurt you, so it is super smart to try this no matter what, okay? Here's an example of what I'm looking for. Apple is to red as banana is to yellow. The color of an apple is red, the color of a banana is yellow. Okay, I have no spaces, which is why it's underlined, because Word doesn't like that. I have my 1 colon between the first pair of words, my 1 colon between the second pair of words, and the 2 colons that separates the 2 pairs. You're going to type here where it says your answer, you're going to type your own analogy. It needs to look like this. It can't be this one. It needs to be not one that we've done in class. Make up your own. Just make sure that the first set of words has the same relationship as the second set of words, and that's an easy 5 points for you, okay? If you have a question about the test, ask me before you submit. I will help you with what I can, but this is a test. So please take your time and do your best.